Hello everyone, my name is Sir Murphy, welcome back to my channel, and today we will be talking about why I believe Dr. Fate is the best zoner in Injustice 2. Without further ado, let's jump right in. First, let's look at some of his strings. First off, his standing 1 has great range. Look at the range on that. If you're even just look at how that's pretty good distance for a standing 1. His Tower of Fate string hits overhead, and look at how fast I recover from it. I'm gonna just squat, which means I can do that. Boom. If I touch you just once, look at the gap between us. And don't forget, I am a zoner. You don't want any distance from me whatsoever. So keep that in mind. He also has this Guidance of Nabu string, which, first off, look at that distance. That's nearly full screen. That's like what? Jump distance away from full screen? As a matter of fact, it's about, I don't even know, like, it's nearly full screen to begin with. So again, I don't even have to go through the trouble of backdashing. I could just hit you with this instead, and you do all the dashing for me. And now we can start the zoning all over again. Not only that, let's say you're blocking. Well, I can hold this down. You try to punish me real quick. No, I really don't think you will. I can hold it, boom. And not to mention, I can cancel this string. If I hold down A, and then backdash, I can backdash out of it. So if you happen to block my string, I can literally completely save myself. Because one of Dr. Fate's weaknesses is the fact that everything this man does is unsafe. Aside from, like, this string right here, which it says it's +3, but that's only if the first hit misses, and I don't even know. Like, it says it's +3, but when they block, you can't complete the string. So it's like, okay, maybe if you miss the forward 2, the up 3 is what's plus. However, if you miss the forward 2, you can't even do the up 3. I don't know. But basically, everything this man does is unsafe, including the string. So, if you want to try to knock the opponent away but they block, hold it down, I'm out. That's simple. And this time immemorial string, this is a good mix-up. If you don't play with Dr. Fate, or you've never come across him, this string must be a nightmare. It's a low and then an overhead almost immediately. It is somewhat reactable. If you do block the low, you can kind of see the overhead coming, but it all happens so fast. It's like, I'm here, I'm gone. Like, and again, let's see. I can already, you know, backdash out of that, get a little bit of distance, or I could use the extra plus frames I have to start this up. Now, unless you use a wake up, if you try to attack me, or you're caught in that, now you're full screen. Let's begin the zoning. Speaking of zoning, let's talk about his specials. His Amon-Ra Blast. That is fast. I was unfortunate enough to come across a Dr. Fate online that was a much higher level than me, to the point where his orb, like the chip damage, pretty much did regular damage, and he was just spamming. He was just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, it was incredibly quick, and I pretty much just had to sit there and eat all of that because I forget who I was playing with, but yeah, I wasn't closing that gap. And so basically, he killed me from chip damage alone, and it did not take a lot. Like, legit, the chip damage did more damage than the normal attack does. So that's just something to keep in mind. But nevertheless, this is fast, and it hits mid. You can't even duck it. What it does lose to is the fact that it does angle downwards, which means it is pretty easy to jump over. But if I know you're going to jump, well, I can just amplify it. I'm shooting 3 of them. Not only are they fast, but there's 3. Good luck trying to jump over all of those. One wrong move, and you're going to eat 1, maybe even 2. Might even eat all 3 if your timing is just that awful. Not only that, let's talk about the damage this move does, especially when meter burned. Look at that. With 4 bars, if I can successfully hit you with all 4 of those, which the chances of that are slim, but if I make it happen, look at your health bar. That's 4 meter burn projectiles, and you're almost half dead. Disgusting. Now let's talk about his displacer orb. This thing, it's pretty slow, has a slow startup as well, hits mid, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but what makes this move so powerful is the fact that I can meter burn and freeze it in air at any point in time as long as it doesn't hit you, which means that I can pull this out, freeze it, stand behind it, and fire my projectiles. If you're someone like Gorilla Grodd, for example, who has a charging move, I can just put this out, and now if you try to charge at me, you'll hit that, be punished, and then while you're recovering from being hit, I again can just use this guidance of Nabu string, knock you full screen, put out another one, and now we do it all over again. I dare you to try to charge at me. I absolutely dare you. And not only that, it's good for catching enemies who like to jump. Go ahead, try to jump over it. Oh, well, we look at that. It froze in place. So now when you thought you were going over it, you're just gonna land on top of it. And considering how fast my Amon-Ra blast is, I might even be able to catch you after getting hit by my displacer orb. So let's review what we have so far. We have a zoner that can knock you full screen with this punish combo, can even hold this down to trick you, has a decent mix-up string with all of those plus frames. Look at that. I have all day to get this set up, and you just wake up right into it. Not to mention, I have an incredibly quick projectile. I have a slower one that I can freeze in place at any point in time, which means I can now protect myself from rushdown characters and continue my zoning completely safe, because unless you fire another projectile at me, if you're a Bane, you are going to struggle against me. If I knock you full screen, I dare you to try to close it on me. What are you going to do? There's like nothing you can do. But here's the icing on the cake for me, and personally the main reason I even made this video, because this actually kind of blew my mind. I mean, I knew he had this, but I never really thought about it that much. He has the ability with this Breath of Life to heal himself. A zoner that can heal himself. Now, it doesn't do that much healing. It's nothing crazy, but the fact that I can... Oh, and not to mention, you would think, oh, well, he has to get inside of it, so that's an opportunity to attack. Nope, I can put it behind me as well, and then just back up into it. I'm too far, but it is a possibility. So I can put this out, back up, and then zone while standing in it. And unless you fire another projectile back at me, I am healing the entire time, and there is nothing that you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Well, aside from fire another projectile, but if you're someone like Bane, and I get you full screen, put this out, set that up, back into it, what are you gonna do? Charge at me? Oh, you'll just get hit while I'm healing. Not to mention, it can also be stacked twice. So I'm healing twice as fast. So let's turn down the life percentage so we can see just the effects of this. Nothing too crazy, but again, if I'm low on health, that is an actual lifesaver. And then we stack it twice. Again, not insane, but that's still... What? Let's see how much damage that was. Well, I can't even tell, but... I can heal myself while zoning, and there isn't even a cooldown on this. Once it runs out, I can just put another one. I can just constantly put these things out and heal myself for the entire match. So at any point in time I knock you down or even away, boom, back up, start the zoning, I'm healing. So just imagine, you finally do close in on me. I get up, I hit you with this string, boom, I'm healing. And now you have to close the gap while I'm reversing the damage that you just worked so hard for. Because closing in on this guy is not easy, trust me. Then we have Glyph of Osiris. This thing knocks the opponent back. So once again, I have another way of knocking you away from me. And if I meter burn it, you're now pretty much full screen. So, oh, and let's not even forget, watch this. I can wake up with it, which means if you finally manage to close the gap on me, however you figured that out, right? And you make the mistake of knocking me down, boom. If I have a meter to spend, you're now full screen. Do it all over again. Oh, well, will you look at that? We're zoning. I don't even need the meter burn to be dangerous. Boom, boom. I can send out a slower one, barrage you with faster ones. And oh, well, we look at that. You're full screen and I'm healing. Disgusting. So you're not even sure of how to even pressure this dude. Because imagine, you finally do close the gap. Knock him down. You're full screen. And even if I don't spin the bar, you're still getting knocked pretty far away. That's nothing to sneeze at. Especially against this guy. If I have bars to spend, well, you're now in danger. And don't forget, every time you hit someone, you build up their meter. So you finally do close the gap and hit me with a nice combo. Well, I've been building meter the entire time you did it. So now I have extra meter lying around. Let's talk about his Spell of Judgment. This thing can be stacked 3 times and does unblockable damage. Even 1. That is unblockable. And it will track you. I'm not sure if it even has the possibility of missing. I don't think it matters in the slightest what you do. Okay, there we go. Whoops. I'm not sure what I did there. But whatever the case was, you saw that it missed. So it can miss. That is possible. But if it can track you after getting hit with the back 3, yeah, your chances of dodging it or of it missing are pretty slim. And keep in mind, again, this can be stacked 3 times. And when it does that. So imagine you're low on health. I'm at a distance and I do this. Look at all that damage, and that's if you got hit. Let's say you did block all of that. Let's set Superman to block. Summon these, send them out. Look at all of that chip damage. Mind you, not even chip damage, because those first 3 hits, you were guaranteed to eat that. That was completely unavoidable. It was unblockable. I send these out. Hold all of that damage for me. If you are low, you are dead, and it is that simple. Not to mention, don't forget, I can knock you full screen at any time. Sure, I need time to set this spell up, but let's see, can it even go away if I'm knocked down? Give myself some time to set it up. No, they stay out. So if you do manage to hit me, how long do they stay out for? They don't go away. So I can literally set this up at the beginning of the match. For the entire fight, I can just be building spells. 1, 2, 3. It's set up. It's not going anywhere. Unless you probably transition me or do something that has some type of cutscene, they're staying out. Let's say you do knock me down. Full screen. You get to eat all of that. And even if you block it, we already saw the chip damage that it did. The chip damage combined with the unblockable, that is a lot of damage. And I knocked you full screen, and you're waking up into it. That is crazy powerful if you ask me. And now, let's talk about Shardam's Lock. This thing locks interactables. Now, out of all of his specials, I do personally see this one as, I'm not going to say it's useless, but compared to the others, it's the most useless. For starters, it only locks interactables in range. So if we go over here, this one, Superman still has access to it. If you look up at the top right, he's still Gucci. He can still use that. which means that it only stops the opponent from using interactables that are close to you. I don't know if you noticed, but his thing is kind of you not being close to him. And personally speaking, if I'm Dr. Fate and you manage to get close enough to me, whereas this affects you, I'd rather use my Spell of Judgment and knock you back and get some zoning going. You know? Or maybe a Displacer Orb. I feel like there's much better options than this. I mean, it is a cool idea that he can lock interactables. Can you meter burn it? Did this lock? Okay, so that locked everything. Yeah, that locked everything. So when you meter burn it, it's actually useful. Let's say you knock a Bane away, so you just, bye sister, boom. Now, if I were Bane, knowing that you throw projectiles, I'd throw that gargoyle, but now I can't touch it, and I'm forced to deal with your keep away. And last but not least, let's talk about his character power. His character power pretty much lets him do more damage. So for instance, that does 152, where normally it only does 114. Displacer Orb does 59. Well, now it does about 90. And his Breath of Life now hurts you as long as you're in it. And if I want, I throw you. You're taking all that damage. And let's not forget that his throw also gets a buff, so normally 105, 124. And it has extra pushback, which means again, now you have to deal with my powered up zoning. So if you thought my zoning was bad before, well now you're farther away, and I hurt so much more now. Look at that. 2 bars and a single throw. His Spell of Judgment also has a different effect now. Ooh. It's no longer unblockable, but let's say, again, I'm farther away. I can set this up. If you're closing in on me, you'll most likely land on those and it knocks you back. So imagine, you spent all that time closing the gap, get carried away. And while that may not be a lot of distance in the grand scheme of things, you still have to deal with this on your way in. I don't even need to meter burn it for it to be dangerous. Look at how fast it is. Send out a slower one. Boom. It's insane the things this guy can do. Not to mention the Glyph of Anubis. This one that knocks you back. Well, normally sends you about that far. So send him to the gargoyle. Now sends him a little farther away, which means you now have to deal with more keep away, and my keep away is even more powerful. And not to mention, if I do decide to meter burn it, I get a full combo. That's right. I can now combo you on my wake up. Not to mention, I have this string that sends you full screen. So imagine, you spend all that time closing in, I wake up, and now do it all over again. And my keep away is more powerful. I don't even need to meter burn it anymore. It's just that strong. So with all these things combined, I think you can understand why I believe that Dr. Fate is the best zoner in Injustice 2. Fast keep away, it is a mid, you have to deal with it. If you decide to jump over it, good luck. Not only is it fast, but I can meter burn it and make it multiple. Does good damage. If I use my character power, it does great damage. Not to mention I have a wake up that can knock you away, or even send you full screen if need be. My punish string can also send you full screen. I can hold it down to trick you if you try to punish me too early. And if you are blocking it, and I know you're going to block it because my strings are unsafe, well, I can just cancel it and get some more distance. I can heal myself if necessary. If I activate this, I can hurt you, throw you while you're in it, do extra damage, and my throw knocks you away. Boom. I can lock interactables. If I meter burn it, I can lock interactables full screen, which means if you're a character who has no projectiles and you're near an interactable that you can throw, well, don't touch it, because now you can't. Now deal with my keep away instead. Not to mention, I can stack these throughout the entire fight because they don't go anywhere, they don't have a time limit. And when I decide to send them out, well, they're unblockable. The final hit may be blockable, but yeah, the first 3 hits aren't. So if you have very low health and I knock you full screen, right your will, because it's over. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, sure, you can try to dodge it because you can miss, but come on. If I can hit you after that, and it still hits you, what move are you doing? What are you going to do to avoid that? I mean, sure, you can teleport. And I don't even know if a teleport will work. That's something I'd have to test out. Not to mention, this, yes, it's a slow projectile. May not do that much damage. But if I want, I can lock it in place. So now, you tried to jump over it. Oops, you landed right on it. Now, eat this as well on your way down. Or, if you're a character, like Gorilla Grodd for example, who doesn't have any projectiles, but you do have a move that charges at me, don't move. Go ahead and charge at me if you want to. You'll hit that, and then you'll eat this. Or, if I want, once you do hit it, I can punish you, knock you away. Now you're full screen, do it all over again. This guy is absolutely insane, and I hope now you understand where I'm coming from. But, without further ado, leave your opinion down in the comments below. Do you think that there's a better zoner in this game than Dr. Fate? Let me know, maybe I'll make a video on it. And that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below anything that you would like. The comment section is yours. As always, follow me on all my social media, link tree in the bio. And sorry for my voice, it's a little rough. I've had to kind of force it to sound decent. This is kind of what I sound like right now. It's really late, and so my voice has left the chat for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on here. I've kind of been straining the entire time. I don't know, but without, yeah. But anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.